Over the past few years, I've been wanting to build a compact PC that doesn't compromise on performance. This right here is my new micro-ATX productivity build, designed for heavy multitasking, content creation, and of course, gaming. What I want to build in this PC is that it has clean aesthetics with minimal to no RGB, and is also powerful enough to handle video editing in 4K. Let me show you what I have built in this video. Let's start with the heart of the system. For the CPU, I will be going with the Intel Core Ultra 7 265K. This CPU is very capable for video editing as it has high core count, up to 20 cores with 8 performant cores and 12 efficient cores. It is also a strong chip for multi-thread performance. It is also a good chip for casual gaming because of its high boost clocks. Pairing with the CPU will be the MSI PRO B860M. This motherboard has a clean and functional build with no unnecessary RGB and no gaming aesthetics overload. The other factor that I chose this motherboard is because of its priced performance. It also has solid VRAMs, PCIe Gen 5 support, 3 M.2 slots, and a complete rear I/O with Wi-Fi 7 built in. For a productivity system, stability matters more than flashy features, and this board handles it very well. And because it's micro-ATX, it gives me the expansion of flexibility while still providing a space-saving setup. As for the RAM, I will be using 64 gigs DDR5 with 6000 MHz speeds at CL36 from G.Skill. 64 gigs might sound excessive, but for productivity, it's ideal to go with more RAMs. When editing 4K footages or even running multiple Chrome tabs, you don't want the memory to be your bottleneck. The Ripjaws M5 kit is low profile, clean, and stable at high speeds, which also help gaming performance. This RAM also supports both Intel XMP and AMD Expo, and this lets me use on both platforms if I consider to switch, considering the RAM prices are off the charts and won't be better anytime soon. As for the storage, I'll be using 2TB Gen 4 from Crucial for the main drive, and another 1TB from ADATA for games. Even though it's not the latest Gen 5 SSDs, I don't find any issue with it. Installing the NVMe SSD on this motherboard is effortless. Just insert it at an angle and lock it into place. No screws are needed for this installation, which makes upgrading it easier in the future. In a compact mATX build, cooling matters, and the choice I've made is the Thermal Phantom Spirit 120 RGB Evo. This cooler is kind of insane for the price. With its dual towers and 7 heat pipe design, rated for 280 watts, it can easily cool the 120 watt chip no problem. Lower temperatures means less fan noise, lower component lifespan, and consistent boost clocks. In my testing, the Phantom Spirit keeps the 265K under control during video editing and long gaming sessions. Plus, the fans provided has good airflow and low noise. Putting all the components together is the Lian Li A3 Wood. This case blends modern metal with minimal design. Also, the natural wood accent from the front panel is actual walnut veneer, not plastic printed. It's compact at only 22 liters but support full-size ATX power supplies and a 360mm radiator on top. This case also supports GPUs up to 450mm in length. For air cooling, we have 165mm of clearance, which accommodates our CPU cooler perfectly. It is not flashy and it blends in quite well with the setup I want. The construction is steel with this wood accent. No glass side panels, which I prefer, and the acoustic dampening is better, and honestly, the aesthetic is about the exterior form, not internal RGB fireworks. The mesh side panels also provides excellent airflow, especially paired with the Arctic 120mm fans. It is also insane how many fans we can fit in this case. As for the power supply, I'll be using 850 watts It is rated 80 plus gold, which I don't need to worry as it's often associated with high quality components and reliable power protection. 850 watts is more than enough for my build, plus it gives headroom to upgrade my GPU in the future. It also comes with sleeve cable, which I did not expect. Also, it is fully modular and that makes building it easier. Next is to mount the power supply. Just need to install the bracket provided with 4 screws and mount it in front of the case. Then adjust the position of the PSU and secure it with another 2 screws. For the fan configuration of this case, I installed 2 Arctic P12 fans at the bottom of the case as intakes to cool the GPU, and 1 fan at the rear for exhaust. Finally, this is where most of the performance comes in, the RTX 5070. Here's my take. At 1440p, which is what this build is realistically for, the 5070 is generally excellent. Native performance is roughly 20 to 25% faster than the previous gen. For 1440p gaming, you can play most games with high settings and high refresh rate. As for productivity, it handles 1080p and 4K editing very well in apps like Premiere Pro and DaVinci Resolve. Timeline scrubbing is smooth and exports are reasonably fast in most workflows thanks to the modern architecture that helps with H.264 and H.265 codec. The only disadvantage of this card is the VRAM, which is only 12 gigs. But if you're not working with heavy stacks of effects or high bitrate 6K or 8K footage, the 5070 is good enough. The 5070 is not just a gaming card anymore. Modern GPUs are now hybrid accelerators, and paired with the Ultra 7, this system feels extremely responsive in both creative and gaming workloads. For the thermal, the CPU temps are below 40 degrees Celsius on idle, which is not bad for an air cooler inside a small case. The noise levels of this PC are surprisingly quiet, and that matters if you're working for hours. So what I think of this build? Well, this isn't a maxed out flagship build, but it's also not a budget build either. And in 2026, the prices of this build is worth around $2,500. That's a lot. Regardless of the price, in my opinion, the specs are balanced really well with the components I use. And honestly, this might be my favorite size class for a PC. Let me know your thoughts on this build, and if you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. And I'll see you in the next one.